Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Juice Baseball channel. And today, we are going to be doing a simulation. I've done a couple of these early on the channel. I did the Matt Harvey video, and I did the under 25 team, could they win a World Series in one season. And now, since the trade deadline in the MLB season has come and gone, it was a pretty massive deadline. And the headliner was a certain 23-year-old player from Washington, D.C. Well, he's not from Washington, it's where he played. A certain Juan Soto has been moved. And it's been a couple of days now. We've had some time to process it. I'm going to be seeing if the post-trade deadline San Diego Padres can win a World Series. We're not going to make any trades. As you can see, we're starting here on opening day of the MLB season, but these are the updated post-trade deadline rosters. So every team's been changed with their most recent trades and moves that they made. So the Reds are updated, the Mariners are updated, the Dodgers are updated. Everybody, Padres obviously, everybody is updated with the trades that they made on deadline day and even before deadline day. So we're going to be starting at opening day of the 2022 MLB season, and we are going to be seeing if the post-trade deadline Juan Soto San Diego Padres are going to win a World Series. If we give them a full year together instead of what they are going to have, which is half a season, if they have a full year together, can they win a World Series? We're going to find out. And we know that in MLB The Show simulations, the Padres do tend to do pretty well. So adding Juan Soto, and Juan Soto is not the only move that they made. Surprisingly, they had just unlimited cap space, and I know that the salary is weird in the MLB, different to like the NBA and to NFL. So like money doesn't really matter in terms of Major League Baseball. So they made some crazy moves. We're gonna go over that in a second, but we are gonna see if the updated post-trade deadline San Diego Padres can go from opening day to October and win a World Series. Let's get into the video. Let's take a look at the roster. First, we're going to start with the pitching rotation because they did make some moves here as well. They added some pieces in, I think in the bullpen. Yeah, Josh Hader. They added Josh Hader from the Brewers, one of the best closing pitchers in all of baseball, and was having a great season in Milwaukee. He is now here in San Diego to close down games for them. But this rotation is nasty. They've got Joe Mosgrove, who's only 29 years old. He's a beast. They've got Yu Darvish, who's a veteran. He's been struggling. He's up and down. But when he's on, he is on. He's got some nasty stuff. Sean Manaea, who can be considered probably their weakest piece, I'd say. But he's still an 83 overall, so he's still a very good player. Blake Snell, who's my favorite in terms of this rotation. I do love Blake Snell. I don't know what it is, but I guess this 2018 season that he had in Tampa was just like the clicking point. I mean, he won 21 games that year. That's really what made me think, yeah, this guy's a stud. So I like Blake Snell. He's the fourth man. And then they've got Mike Clevenger, who they got from Cleveland a couple of years ago. So he is also here as the bottom end starter at number 5, but having an 80 overall as your back end starter, I don't think that is a bad thing. Their bullpen is also really, really solid with some good pieces in here. Their setup man is Drew Pomeranz, and then obviously we talked about Josh Hader. Then we move to the lineup, and this is where it gets spicy. We've obviously got Manny Machado. I guess you could count this as a big 3. I don't really think MLB suits itself to a big 3 in terms of like the NBA. But you got Manny Machado, you got Juan Soto now, and you got Fernando Tatis. So I think that could be considered your quote-unquote big 3 here in San Diego. But the person that's probably not arguably, is having a better season in real life than Juan Soto is Josh Bell. He's been destroying the baseball in Washington. He was also a part of that deal, so he's playing first base for the Padres now. Soto's in right field. Tatis is in short. You've got Nomar Mazara in center. They also got Brandon Drury from the Reds, who's having an all-star caliber season in Cincinnati, probably the best player on Cincinnati's team, and I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan. He's now in San Diego. to play DH. Jurickson Profar is in left field. Jorge Alfaro is in behind the plate at catcher, and Jake Cronenworth is the second baseman. This team is built for the postseason. They are ready to go. They've got good bench. They got Trent Grisham. They've got Austin Nola. Will Myers is solid. So, I mean, they've got some good pieces all around this team. Their pitching rotation, their staff is really good. So we're going to see. We are going to see if this team can go to the postseason and win it all. I also show you, since this is kind of like a post-trade deadline update, all the attributes are updated. Well, Julio Rodriguez is an 86 overall, but the Mariners, they have Luis Castillo. They have... who else did they make a trade? Did they make a trade with anybody else? I don't think they did, but they have Luis Castillo. We can go to the... Who else made a trade? We can go to the Phillies. Did they make a trade? I think the Phillies made a trade. They have Noah Syndergaard. They traded for him from the Angels. Who else made a trade? The Brewers were kind of active. They traded, obviously, we saw that they traded with the Padres for, what's-his-face? Josh Hader. The Red Sox made a couple of trades, if we can find it in there. There's Tommy Pham from the Reds. He's on the team now. The Yankees, I think, made a couple trades. You guys get the picture. Everybody that made a trade is here. All the trades are here. We should be seeing Joey Gallo on the Dodgers. There he is from the Yankees. So everybody's updated. Everybody is updated here. And we're going to see if the San Diego Padres are going to be World Series champions. So we're going to simulate the first month of the season. I'll catch you guys back up after we get that done. So after the first month of the season, we are now in May 1st, and the Padres are 17-11, a half a game back of the LA Dodgers. It's going to be an uphill battle to take on the Dodgers, but Joe Musgrove is pitching amazing. He's 3-0 with a 2.64. Yu Darvish is 4-2. Manaea is 2-1. Blake Snell is struggling with a 4.94 ERA, 0-2. Clevenger's 2-2. How is Josh Hader doing? How many saves he's got? He's got 10 saves in the month of April. That's pretty good. And let's take a look at the big piece. Juan Soto, through the first month of the season, has 26 hits, 5 home runs, 14 RBIs, hitting 274, slugging 484, 868 OPS. Okay, so he's just getting started here. Fernando Tatis also hitting really, really well in the first month of the season. But it's, like I said, it's only the first month, so we've got to see how the rest of this team plays as they start to gel and get more reps and more at-bats together. So we're going to finish the month of May, and I'll see you guys then. So we enter the month of June, and we have taken a control of the NL West. We are 36-19 after 2 months of the season, 2 games ahead of the Dodgers. If you take a look at the calendar, we went on a massive win streak where in the first 2.5 weeks of the season, we only lost 1 game, and that was to the Cubs. And then we went on a little bit of a losing streak because Brandon Drury got hurt during the season, or during this little stretch, but he is back now. So we did take a little bit of a hit there, but we're still looking good. Pitching rotation is looking solid. Joe Musgrove 6-2. Yu Darvish is pitching well. Manaea is pitching good. Blake Snell is starting to pitch a little bit better. He's getting hot. He's starting to get a little bit hot. Clevenger is also pitching good, and now Josh Hader has 19 saves through the 2 months of the season. Let's take a look at our big star, Juan Soto, who is cold right now. He's got 52 hits, 8 home runs, 26 RBIs, hitting 275, OBP in 390, OPS is 861, slugging 471. So he needs to get that slugging and average up, and then he'll be good. I know I say that like it's not a big deal, but or like it's pretty easy, but it's pretty hard. Josh Bell, who I mentioned at the beginning, is in real life having a better season than Juan Soto, hitting 12 home runs throughout the first 2 months of the season, 28 RBIs, 300 average, slugging 531, OPS of 895. He's having a good season here too. Manny Machado also hitting well, not really in terms of home runs, but he's got a decent average, good slugging percentage, good OPS. I mean, he's okay. And then Fernando Tatis with 14 home runs. It's going to be hard to do what he did last year. I mean, 42 home runs, 97 RBIs is just crazy. But he does have a better average. He's got not as good of a slugging, but we still got plenty of time, and his OPS is really, really high. So Fernando Tatis is a beast. And then Brandon Drury also having a decent season for what he is. So this team through the first 2 months, 2 games above the Dodgers. Let's see what they can do after 3 months of the season. I'll see you guys after June. We enter the month of July, a game back of the Dodgers. We had a rough July. Look at all these losses. we had a really, really rough July. A lot of our starting pitchers took a big hit, and it looks like Blake Snell is the one that took the biggest hit. He has got a 2-8 record with a 6.25 ERA. What's his whip? His whip is 1.85. I mean, his WAR is 0.1. He is having a rough season, and it's not going good for him. He's regressing to an 80. I mean, Joe Musgrove is pitching good at 8-4 with a 2.72 ERA, a 1.08 whip. He's got a 1.6 WAR. I mean, he's having a really good season. He's just trying to pick up the pieces. Sean Manaea is also having a really solid season. Could be an all-star performance for him. And then Mike Clevenger's just bringing up the rear, having a decent season. After 3 months of the year, 26 saves, 3 blown saves for Josh Hader, a 2.30 ERA. Good year for him. We got all of our starting pitchers except for Joe Musgrove are cold. Then we go to the lineup. Manny Machado starting to get a little bit hotter than he was in the previous months of the season. Josh Bell, 17 home runs through 3 months, 49 RBIs, 330 average, slugging .562 with an OPS of 954. Josh Bell could be an all-star, ladies and gentlemen. 18 home runs for Juan Soto. He's heating up. 291 average. Needs to raise the average up a little bit more. The OPS is really good. The slugging is getting better. He's starting to get good. And so is Fernando Tatis, speaking of getting good. 26 home runs, 64 RBIs, 301 average, 661 slugging, a 1.056 OPS. Fernando Tatis is an all-star for sure. And then Brandon Drury as well. I guess we could take a look at the all-star voting. If we take a look right here, we've got not guaranteed, but we've got Fernando Tatis and Josh Bell as starters on the National League side of things. Joe Musgrove could make it, probably not, but he could make it. Then we've got nobody in relief pitching except for Nabil Crismatt has got a possibility of making it, but he's going to have to pitch really good in the month of July. Josh Hader's going to make it as a closing pitcher. No catcher. Jorge follows close, but no catcher. Josh Bell most likely could be the starter for the first baseman. Second base, Cronenworth is down there in the bottom. You see him there, right there. And then third base, we've got Manny Machado trying to get in. Shortstop is most likely going to be Tatis. Left field, Profar's having a good season. I don't know if he can pass Ian Happ and Chris Bryant. Center field, we don't really have a center fielder that's going to make it. And then right field, Juan Soto is right in second place. So he has a good chance. He's going to have a really good couple weeks to get there past Bryce Harper. I don't know if he'll do it. I guess let's simulate to, I won't cut this one out. Let's simulate to the All-Star break and see if we get any All-Stars. Let's see what happens here. We also got to try and beat the Dodgers. So we make it to the Futures game. We'll simulate that. We'll go to the Home Run Derby. I will play the Home Run Derby just to see who's in it. So we have Tatis with 32 home runs. Mike Trout, Pete Alonso, Josh Chisholm, Bryce Harper, Judge, Seager, and Stanton. So that's cool. So we got one person in the Home Run Derby. And we can take a look at All-Star voting. So it looks like Joe Musgrove is going to make it as a starting pitcher. No relief pitchers. Josh Hader is going to make it as a closer. No catcher. Josh Bell is going to be the starting first baseman. Cronenworth made an effort. He got up higher, but he's not going to be in the All-Star game. Third base, we're not going to have Manny Machado, I wouldn't think. Shortstop, Tatis is probably going to be the starter. Left field, Profar kind of dropped down a little bit, or somebody else made a better run at it. Center field, nothing. And then Juan Soto might have taken over for the starter in the All-Star game. That's pretty cool. You love to see that. Let's skip the Home Run Derby, and then we'll go and view the organization games just to see if they made the All-Star team guaranteed. So we'll see. So we've got no for Musgrove. That's unfortunate. But we do have Josh Hader, so we get one pitcher at least that makes it. And then we've got starter Juan Soto at DH. Okay, I'll take that. I guess it's a starter. Then Fernando Tatis and Josh Bell. So 3 starters in the All-Star game. Nobody makes it as a backup. It doesn't look like, no. Nobody makes it as a backup, but we get 3 starters. I'll take that. And then Josh Hader as well. So 4 All-Stars this season. And then I will see you guys in the month of August after we finish these last 2. You know what? Let's just go straight to the month of August right here. We don't have to wait anymore because we're not going to make any trades or anything. This is going to be the team that we go with till October. So we don't have to worry about trades. and today's the trade deadline. Let's simulate that. All right, so we are here 4.5 games back to the Dodgers. It looks like the Dodgers are starting to heat up a little bit. I'm kind of scared of that. I know that we are probably going to be... Oh, we drafted a 96 overall Anthony Pierce. That's pretty cool. You know what? I might sign him just because. He's not going to matter in this video because it's only one season, but he's a 96 overall. Can't let him get out of there. So, we are 4.5 games back in August. The Dodgers are probably going to win this division, but if we take a look at, not the league leaders, if we take a look at the standings, we are in the lead for a wild card spot. But I don't want a wild card spot. I want to win the division. I know it's a tough ask because it's the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are notoriously a really good sim team in MLB The Show. So it's going to be an uphill battle, but I think we can do it. Let's simulate to the month of September, the final month of the season, final full month of the season, and we will see how this team fares with 1 month left to go. I'll see you then. We make it to September, and we are now still 4.5 games back. We didn't make up any ground, even though we had a really good win streak, and we won a lot of games, but we got swept by the Marlins. We lost 3 of 4 against the Nationals. I mean, we lost 2 of 3 against the Giants. We can't be losing those kind of games. We didn't even sweep the Dodgers. We lost a game against the Royals. We can't be losing those types of games. We got some very winnable winnable series here. The Diamondbacks, the Mariners, the Cardinals are winnable. The Sox are winnable. So, I mean, we play the Dodgers a lot. So this month is going to come down to whether or not we can make up any ground and win the division, or if we're just going to have to make the playoffs via the wild card. But Joe Musgrove is having an amazing season. Sucks that he wasn't an all-star, but he is having a really good season. 2.80 ERA, a 1.07 WHIP, 2.8 WAR. Yu Darvish 14-8, also having a really good year. 3.86 ERA. He's got a really high ERA. Probably could do with lowering that, but other than that, he's having a really good year. Sean Manaea also has a really high ERA, but he's had a really high ERA his entire career, except for this one exception in Oakland, where he went 4-0 in 5 games, so that really doesn't count. It's not really a good sample size. So other than that, he's just this kind of pitcher. That's just what he is. And Blake Snell is he's the downfall. 7-13 with a 5.35 ERA, his worst of his career. Of course, he has this bad of a pitching season the time that I actually say that I like him and I think he's a really good pitcher, that I think he's one of the better pitchers in this rotation. He goes out and has that kind of pitching performance throughout the season, and then Mike Clevenger is doing what Mike Clevenger does. Let's get to the juicy stuff. Manny Machado, 96 overall. He's progressing up to that. A potential still, 22 home runs, 67 RBIs. He's only 29, by the way. I feel like he's older than that, but he's not. 314 average, 508 slugging, 891 OPS. He's having a really good series. Josh Bell, 30 home runs. He's pulling out stuff that he did in 2019 in Pittsburgh. 30 home runs, 82 RBIs, 330 average. He's slugging 570, which is better than what he did in 2019 by a point. Or by .001. And then he's got a 963 OPS. Josh Bell is having an amazing season. I can see why he was the starting first baseman for the All-Star game. Speaking of really good seasons, Juan Soto is proving to have a great year. 29 home runs, 76 RBIs. It seems like, what is it, Safeco Park? Is that still what it's called in San Diego? I don't remember what it is, but it seems like that thin air out there in San Diego is feeling good for Juan Soto. He's having a really good year. Fernando Tatis is just crushing the ball. 41 home runs, 107 RBIs, hitting 300 even. Just an absolute phenomenal season from him. He's 1 home run away from what he did last year. And I said earlier that it's going to be tough to do what he did in 2021, but he's doing exactly what he did, even better with the RBIs, with a better average, better slugging percentage, better OPS. He's just having a really great season. This is the MVP, if you ask me. That's the MVP. And speaking of that, we can take a look and see who's in the lead for that. And he is. Speak of the devil, Fernando Tatis is leading the league, the National League, in most valuable player. Then we've got batting title could go to Josh Bell. That would be pretty cool. So we're up for some awards, but we've got one more full month of the season, and then we've got 2 games in October. So I'll see you guys on those final 2 games. Hopefully we're in the lead for the division, but if not, let's just keep our wild card spot so we can guarantee ourselves a playoff spot. I'll see you guys in October. Here we are on October 1st. We have 2 games left, and as you can see on the NL West standings, we are 7 games ahead of the Dodgers, 94 and 66, and this is coming after they swept us in a series. the last time, not the last time we played them because we played them here this past week, but one of the last times we played them, they swept us. So, but look at this win streak. We won 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 games in a row. We went on a 13-game win streak in the month of September. That is actually insane. And the Dodgers, oh, they lost. No wonder they're 7 games back. They sucked so much in the month of September. I can see why they're 7 games back. But this 13-game win streak right here was crucial. Absolutely crucial. 94-66. That might be guaranteed. I think that is guaranteed. It's got to be. Yes, it is. We've clinched the division 94-66. We're not going to win 100 games, but we are going to win the division over the Dodgers. Are the Dodgers in the wild card? They are. They lead the wild card, but it's a close race. The Marlins and the Braves have a chance to pass the Dodgers and kick them out of the playoffs entirely. That would be hilarious. And let's see what was the cause of this win streak that we had. Joe Musgrove, 16-8 on the year, a 2.90 ERA, a 107 WHIP, a 2.5 WAR. We got Yu Darvish pitching 18-9 with a win-loss record, and then 144 strikeouts, 363 average, a 127 WHIP, a 1 WAR. Sean Manaea's got 16 wins. He's a 390 guy. Blake Snell has started to step it up. He hasn't lost a game, it looks like, since last month. He's got a lot more wins. He's lowered that ERA. All right. And then Clevenger, 15-9. Every starting pitcher has got over 15 or more wins. Oh, no, Blake Snell's got 10. So I should say 10 or more wins for every single starting pitcher. And then how's Josh Hader doing? He's 0-4 in games, but the win-loss record doesn't matter for a closer that much. 47 saves, a 2.01 ERA with a .96 WHIP, a 1.4 WAR. He's having a tremendous season. Now let's take a look at the good stuff. Manny Machado, 27 home runs, 79 RBIs, hitting .302, 500 even slugging, 873 OPS. Josh Bell just continues to tear it up. He has even his career high at 37 home runs that he did back in 2019. 95 RBIs, 328 average, a 568 slugging, 958 OPS. He's having a tremendous season. Hopefully he wins the batting title. Juan Soto, he's feeling good. He is feeling good. 33 home runs, 90 RBIs. This is one of his best seasons, his second best seasons in terms of just pure numbers. 288 average, which is what he did better than in 2019. He's slugging 525. He's got an OPS of 927. I mean, Juan Soto's having a great year. And 50 home runs for Fernando Tatis. You gotta be kidding me. 50 home runs? Really? Fernando Tatis is smashing the baseball. 136 RBIs, a 303 average, 656 slugging, and an OPS of 1.051. That is your MVP. I don't care what other seasons players are having. This is your MVP. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Brandon Drury is also having a really good year. Man, that is just crazy. Fernando Tatis. Unbelievable. And we finished the final 2 games of the year by losing our final 2 games of the season. We're taking on the Cardinals in the first round of the playoffs in the divisional, the NLDS. And let's take a look at league leaders. We've got some good stuff there. I'll take a look at that in a second. We've also got awards. Tatis wins the Hank Aaron Award. No surprise. He wins the MVP. No surprise. And Josh Bell wins the batting title. No surprise there as well. Just an absolutely insane season from Fernando Tatis. So let's take a look at the league leaders. So the batting average was Joey Barr. Let's see, do we have anybody that we won? Obviously, we saw some guys won it, but it was mostly Joe Musgroves. Oh, this is all postseason stuff. Okay, we can't take a look at that. We can't take a look at that. I'm guessing all the stats are changed. Yeah, all the stats are changed as well. So we do get some awards, though. We can take a look at those because those awards don't change. So let's go to most valuable player. Fernando Tatis got 1 more home run. So we averaged 303 average and 51 home runs with 139 RBIs. That's an absolutely insane season. Then what did Judge do? I didn't check. Judge had 44 home runs. Corbin Burns won the Cy Young, 16-5. Wow. Josh Bell won the batting title with 38 home runs. Josh Hader was almost the reliever of the year, but Giovanni Gallegos was better. 59 saves. Wow. And that's who we're taking on. We're taking on the Cardinals, who also have Brendan Donovan, who won the Rookie of the Year. Good for him. Tatis won the Hank Aaron. No surprise, like I said. So we are taking on the Cardinals. They've got some award winners. Musgrove loses 0-6. We lose there. We win. And we lose. Wow. We got beat by the Cardinals in the NLDS 3-1. Not what I was expecting. It's in the postseason. And the Cardinals have defeated the Angels, so they were just destined for the World Series. But that is going to do it for the video. So Juan Soto's season, the man that we were following, the big three, quote unquote, they couldn't win a World Series in the first season, or in 1 year, from start to finish. But they did perform very, very well and made the playoffs and won the division. So Padres fans, you can at least take some solace in knowing that you got the possibility of that. But Juan Soto ends up with 1 full season in his belt in San Diego, 33 home runs, 90 RBIs, had a 289 average, OBP of 403, 525 slugging, 928 OPS. A great season from Juan Soto. Not one of his best seasons. His best season was this one in 2019, but this one is a really good season. Josh Bell, a phenomenal season. What a pickup he was to be thrown into the deal with Juan Soto, because he had a great season. 38 home runs, 96 RBIs, won the batting title, hitting .329, slugging .572 with a .962 OPS. A tremendous season from Josh Bell. Manny Machado, 27 home runs, 79 RBIs, kind of took a step back in this lineup with the addition of Josh Bell and Juan Soto. Still had a slugging percentage of .498, OPS of .870, averaged 300. So, I mean, he still had a really good year. But, I mean, this man just bowed down to the greatness that is Fernando Tatis. Now, would he have been this? It's one of the greatest sports what-ifs in recent memory. What if Fernando Tatis didn't get traded from the White Sox to the Padres? Would he have turned into the guy that he is now on the White Sox? Probably, because pure talent usually starts to show itself no matter where you're at. But the Padres just got so good with Fernando Tatis. They got so lucky with that trade. And he performed in this simulation. 51 home runs, 139 RBIs, won the National League MVP, won the Hank Aaron Award, 303 average, 657 slugging, and a 1.051 OPS. A phenomenal season from Fernando Tatis. Brandon Drury, their other addition in the trade deadline this year, 16 home runs, 53 RBIs. His best season as a professional. Averaged .238, slugging .368, OPS of his numbers aren't as good as what they were on the Mets, I guess you could say, or in previous seasons. But I just all put together, encompassing his averages and his actual physical home run RBI stats, he had probably one of his best seasons, if not his best season as a professional. So that is going to do it for this video. The St. Louis Cardinals are going to win the World Series based on everything that we've seen with the updated post-trade deadline rosters. I guess you can guarantee an Angels-Cardinals World Series in 2022. And that's good for Mike Trout, because Mike Trout has struggled to even get to the postseason with the Angels. I think he's played in maybe 3 postseason games in his entire career, and we consider him maybe the greatest baseball player of our generation, and he's only played in 3 at the most postseason games. So we don't know what he is as a postseason player, but if this simulation is anything to show for it, he's going to be in the postseason, he's going to go to the World Series, and he's going to play probably pretty well. So, and Shohei Ohtani as well. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. If you want to see any more content, I have 2 other channels. The World of Juice channel is my main channel. That link is down below. The World of Juice Hoops channel is my other channel, my second channel. That's all about 2K content and basketball stuff. So if you like any of that stuff, I got Madden on the first channel as well. So if you like any of that stuff, I got a big variety of content for you guys across everything, all your interests. So if you want to watch anything else, go down below. The links are in the description. Or if you just want to stay here and watch more baseball content, I got plenty of that for you as well. Well, not plenty, but I'm starting to build it up. It's getting there, but I'm going to have plenty of content there. So I hope you guys did enjoy. The Padres do make the postseason, make the NLDS, win the division, but get bumped out in the NLDS by the St. Louis Cardinals, who go on to win the World Series. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Juice Club. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.